All right, you guys, back with another live stream. Please share, subscribe, hit that like button for me, and let's get with this live. Now, Malcolm X on God's judgment of white America. Now, what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teach us that as it was the evil sins of slavery that caused the downfall and destruction of ancient Egypt and Babylon. See, it is you, white America, who God is after. See, we want a new world. And this old world we living in must eventually die out. And now we see, in order for this old world to die, a new world will have to set. Because the old things must die. Now, how true the prophecy Jesus would say in a time that man hearts will be filling in fear. So let's talk on the coming day of the Son of Man. See, in Luke 21:25, and there will be signs in sun and moon and stars on earth, distress of nations and perplexity because of the warring of the seas and the waves, people fainting with fear and with foreboding of what is coming on the world. For the power of the heavens will be shaken. And then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Now, when these things begin to take place, straighten up and raise your head, because the redemption is drawing near. So I doubt that you ever see white America to repent. So how true the prophecy Jesus says in Luke 21:25-26 concern the present time. We bear witness that the seas and waves are warring, and that fear is now covering the nations, as shown by unusual heart failures that is occurring amongst man. See, these are the signs of the end of this present world. We see the seas and ocean are heaving up tidal waves to a unimaginable height that man has never witnessed before on earth. Now, this is another pledge that's upon the wicked. You see, white folks, they never haven't even acknowledged the wrongdoing that they have done. White folks have never been a forgiving people. In every sense of what they did to our forefathers. You see, they have not been a forgiving people. And now, since we see The Holy Quran teaches that the judgment will be such that the earth itself will act as though a revelation had been revealed to it because of its perfect obedience to laws of Allah on that day. Allah will use the power that is in the earth and the seas against the world evil. The white race thinks that today they have the power to control the earth, sea, and air. It was prophesied that for a time they will subdue and have the use of the power of the sea and ocean until he comes who right it is to rule. You see, the heaven earth belongs to Allah God. Now is this time to rule. Now we should be happy as a people that deliverer has come to deliver us. And this is the time that a deliverer will come to deliver us. See, white folks, they never gonna acknowledge their guilt, their wrongdoing, because it is in their nature not to even do right. They'll put the whole world in jeopardy. And you know how sick it is that even Pharaoh hold on into his possession, his merchandise, and all that he had plotted out. See, America will do the same thing. They'll hold on to their wealth, their possession. You know, America is the richest last remaining. But you see, in a single hour, single day, right here in the Western, you see all of her delicious and delicate and splendor things that's going to be gone. And that one day, 1 hour, it's going to come to pass here in the Western. So now, the heaven, earth belongs to our God. Now, it is this time to rule. There's much prophecy concerning the terribleness we see of the judgment of this wicked. The power we see is in the water, is in the hands of Allah God to use it against whom he pleases. The earth, wind, rain, snow, fire, ice, earthquakes, tsunamis are controlled by Allah God. It is a fearful sight to see the displays of his power with the force of nature bowing and submitting to his will. I shall warn you that this is now coming into action against the Western world. There will be the destruction of whole fleets at seas. Those which are capable of lying on the ocean, sea bottom will be destroyed. The die set with a foolish people who, like in the time of Noah, could not see the rain bringing or the flood, even after clouds beginning to darken the skies. See, they did not see the oncoming rain until it actually started to rain. So today, you see, America paid no attention to the signs of the judgment that is now taking place. As the Bible prophesied, we see Revelation 16:9. They blaspheme in the name of God, which has power over these pledges. Now, how many in the city of Chicago disbelieve and even mock and swear at the name of Allah, who have power over the force of nature, land, and sea. Allah God is now doing, as is prophesied, Holy Quran, we see Surah 1341. We have visited the land and curtain it of its eyes. Now the foolish are still foolish until he is cast into that narrow place and cannot turn to the right or left as it was with the donkey that Balaam was riding. See, America, so much wicked that she had done, she can't even send the people onto a narrow path. See, it's going to be a terrible sight, y'all. See, you want to enter to a narrow door before it gets too late now. Because it's going to get too late, because when the narrow gates get open, it's going to be too late for her to repent of her wrongdoing. You know, when I look around, I'm seeing America no longer have friends. She no longer have friends. You see, because friendship is speeding her doom. No one wants to sit with an evil, wicked people. That they been wicked all this time. They created separation. They create this division. They put racism right in our face. They segregate us with racism here. So no one should even have any sympathy for you. So it says, he came to a narrow place between two walls. He could not turn around. He had to stop face to face with the angels or be destroyed. We see in Numbers 22, 23, and 26. Let it be remembered that Allah God came forth for the redemption to deliver the American black people from their tormentors. Whether we like it or not, he would do this. This is the work of Allah God, which is in effect. Let America use the history of the fall and destruction we see of ancient Egypt and her pharaoh. Let the history serve as a warning that was all brought to nothing for the evil done to a people whom Allah God has chosen for example of these last days, the lost found, slave, and their slave masters. The Holy Quran, Surah 1341, is perfectly true in its prediction we see of a present nation. We see seas and lands. We see power, corruption has appeared in our land and sea on account of that which man's hands have made. We see the great mistake that this black man we see is making today is trying to hold on to the brief and return to Jesus that he lived and preached this saving of this white man's world. This is false. We see Jesus did not preach this. We see Jesus had a few disciples. See, Jesus also cursed the Jews. Not to mention that he was trying to save them or the Caucasian people. Now we see today they are teaching this trichology that the white man used to deceive the black man. They do this so that our people will not understand that Jesus declared himself against the world or the Caucasian race, the Bible. He also declared that the words of truth have no place in this right race of people. They have proved this to be the truth by the mistreatment of you and me. And you know, this judgment, this is not our judgment. See, this judgment you guys have to do with people that have blood on their hands for the past 6,000 years. See, we're not ready to go against this giant of the earth that they talked about, Goliath. See, Goliath is the giant of the earth, America. This means their governments. This means their police, their military. We not ready to go against the beast. Goliath, the giant of the earth, which is refers to our America. But see, we got a God that's here. We got a deliverer that's here that won't be denied, that white America will be charged from all the wrongdoing. So I said, who should sit with you, America? As the Bible said, a man reap what he sows. See, the Bible says, as thou hast done, so shall it be done. See, brothers, I always say this: treat others as you would want them to treat you. Do to others as you will want them to do to you. See, America, she got this sawdust in her eye. She got a log. And see, they can't see their own speck, but they can see your pleck. So I think this is a direct message to the governments, to these world leaders, that I think that you should get a good smell and look at yourself in the mirror and see how you keeping it. Because today, if God would have got a good smell of this wicked filth, he would think the smell that he seen from ancient modern time, he can compare that smell today. And you see, he would get a good sense of a smell that he can never imagine, a smell that he sees today in America. You see, the right race have never worshiped any prophets before or after Jesus as divine man of Allah God. We see it is against their very nature, to do this. See, this is why today that they kill all the prophets that they are able to kill. They deceive the people against believing in the prophets of Allah God. For they were made in their nature to be the enemies of God and his representatives. Before the time we see is out, they will be forced into submission to the will of Allah God, and this will not be done for the purpose of converting a right race. Allah God will force them to submission to prove that he is able to make everything bow to him in submission. See, in Revelation 18, Babylon is refers to America, because Babylon at some point is falling. See, America is falling. But why is America falling? Why? Because it is you, America, that have been a habitation of devils, a home for every evil person, a cage for every hateful bird. See, the godless queen that we need to talk about, she was very taken care of. And even though America is very rich and the last richest remaining people that God have to see, Now, I want to get to this goddess queen. She was very rich, very fortified. She was the seducer. She seduced Earth. See, this means that America offer you filth, evil. You see, fornication, getting God's people to drink the intoxicant drinks. See, this goddess queen, she's realized she's no more attractive. This goddess queen had daughters, and the daughters was no more attractive. You see, America, you see how they Latin heavy sentences, prison terms, refuse to let the prisoners go free due to her lackness. You know, so now on to the goddess queen. You know, she made all the world drink of her fornication, of her morality. See, immorality is now here, and each of you is going to be held responsible. You see, when I say she's the goddess queen and she's no longer attractive, her daughters ain't attractive, I'm talking about the people in the world. The daughters, the people of the world. You see, we have a high rate today in our academic. Houston, people living with HIV. HIV had gone so up that you see 1.2 million people is affected with that virus. And you think God's pleased? See, this is why I say this. Come out of her. Come out of her ways of her life. Come out of her ways of her thinking. Because now God has remembered her iniquity. Her sins has heaped all into the heavens. You got to come out of these foolish stuff. See, relationships, it's not even respected. People can't even graduate and get on with marriage. See, God ain't made you no hoe. He didn't make you no slut. He didn't make you a prostitute. He didn't make you someone's bitch. See, you been a white man's bait all your life. And all your life he calls you boy. You a sissy pie. How many times you been gang raped? How many times you been grape? He's graping you. Now, on to the Holy Quran. Because the Holy Quran has a similar prophecy that you shall see all nations kneeling before him. See, this includes everybody, regardless to their color. Everything in the universe obeyed the natural laws, and which was subject to by Allah, God. On this coming of Allah, God, he now make everything bow to him, whether you believe it or in disbelief. The Holy Quran, Surah 382 says it does not make a difference to him whether you are the devil or the righteous. We see all must bow in submission to the will of Allah God on the judgment day. And we are now living in a day of judgment. You see, black preachers, I want to say, you will waste your time and leading yourself and others to follow you to hell by holding on to this Christianity. See, Revelation 19:20. See, you cannot keep them in Christianity. See, Christianity was not the religion of Jesus, Moses, or any other prophet who came before him. It would have been a fierce part of Allah, God, to have raided until just 2,000 years ago to give this right religion to the world of man. Allah, God, gives the right religion, Islam, in the beginning of his creation of the heavens and the earth. Allah, God, has not changed. His religion is Islam, entire submission to his will. Now we see hell is erupting. And why are the nation angry? And who are the nation that are angry at the resurrection of the dead? See, why America is so angry at the resurrection of the dead? You know why they so angry? Because they see how black people are rising to the occasion. We no longer dead anymore to white folks. You see, we no longer have to be put on a latch and be carried around. See, when you practice reading the Revelation, practicing is reading that we as the dead people will rise from a mental death. See, you gotta realize who God is and discover who this devil is and name the beast that he was. You see, like Daniel 5:7, there was a very description that Daniel gives. A very well-known beast that will rise from the sea. And out from the sea, he had 3 ribs in his mouth. See, meaning, brothers and sisters, you will swallow for 3 centuries. And see, whenever history is repeating itself. See, our trouble today must be solved, said the God of righteousness, the God of freedom, justice, and equality. And this is why he comes, to straighten out this crookedness, to straighten out this rubbish. And see, the 18th verse of the 11th chapter of the Revelation in the Bible plainly teach us that these nations are angry mad because of the rise of the dead, and that God himself was the source of the power behind the resurrection of a rise of a mentally dead people, the black man. It is the slaveholders who have been the real cause of a mental death of the people we see. The Revelation relates to as being deprived of justice. See, God has come to give them justice and to justify them as being equal to their right slave masters as human beings. As you know, we see from the 400 years, we see illegal slavery and free slavery of the American so-called that have never been recognized even as a human being, as one devil says they are 3/5 of a human being. Now, since they are 3/5 of a human being, and he's calling you from anywhere from a beast to a mortal to an entity, you see why he's calling you this? Because he's calling you a menace. To whom? To yourself and kind. See, you're a menace to society. This is what he's calling you. So it is true that we see the history of our treatment by the devil scientists practically made our parents and ourselves less than human beings. This is why today I teach that the main rights we should seek first are human rights. See, we should seek our human rights. This is important that we should come into agreement that we should seek after our human rights, y'all. Because the American so-called Negro flew in love with his slave masters and slave master children, because we see the unlike attracted them and their brothers in Africa. We see, so therefore we see the manifestations of the enemy, the devil, and the resurrections makes the dead to see, that which caused them to be mentally dead. We see, so in the parable of the donkey riding, meeting with this angel, he saw that the burden he had been carrying on his back was false. So we see Balaam. So it is in the resurrection of a mentally dead so-called Negro that they are rising to a knowledge of self. This knowledge make them mute or refuse to continue to carry their slave masters as something to worship. Just have angered their slave masters, as the donkey refused to anger Balaam. See, we see Balaam set about whooping and beating the donkey to force him as unusual to carry and respect him as his master. This use of force to compel the one slave, the black Americans, to remain with them even now in order to make them members. Our society is only false recognition of the black Americans, this lost and now found people of the black nation of Asia and Africa. We see this continuous cruelty by this white slave master inflicted, we see, upon the American so-called Negro have angered God as the cruelty the Egyptians, we see, inflicted upon the Israelites during the time of Pharaoh angered Jehovah. This is a repetition of Israel history and a Pharaoh evil we see in these modern times. The appearance of Jehovah and of Moses, the servants of Jehovah, to announce to Pharaoh the end of Israel's slavery. Pharaoh became angry and went to work and tried to instruct and bring to nothing Jehovah's delivery of Israel through his servant Moses. This brought Pharaoh to his end, and he and his army was cast into the Red Seas, because they tried to prevent the freedom of Israel by the God Jehovah. We see that angry nation refers to white America and Europeans who are also enslaved by the black man. Take, for instance, we see the part that England, we see Germany, France, and Italy had all played in enslavement of black Africans and black people throughout Africa, Asia, here in America, North and South America. There is no such thing in nature of white people as justice and freedom for black people, especially not for blacks in the Western hemisphere. Now their anger is running them mad, and they are attacking and killing each other. See, there is no such thing as peace amongst them, nor can they produce peace for others. The Holy Quran refers to this condition as the kind up of hell. Never before have you witnessed, we see the evil that we see spreading far and wide. We see every hour of the day in America and Europe. England, America being not the first, but the chief slave makers of black people. They dislike the idea of having our lives disposed of their power over the Negro. Though they knew this was coming, the loss of their slaves. This is the time of increase of knowledge. God has given the black man of America more light into this increase of divine knowledge than any black elsewhere, because he chose to make for himself a great nation out of the former slaves of America. See, white America is angry at God for resurrecting the black slave to the knowledge of self and his slave masters. This means that they are entering into a war with Almighty God alive, to try to oppose the truth of God, preached by the messenger of God. Read the second Psalms. The great commotions, the great commotion of the governments and people of America, the civil unrest, insurrection. We see mental excitement, noisy confusion. There is no action that is being taken, nor can there be any action taken that will bring the people into a better condition of civil actions. We see white American people have practiced evil and injustice to a man in the mud, the black slave, for so long that they think that there will never be any divine actions taken against them for such evil and injustice. See, it's not in their nature. See, white America is evil. They got so much blood in their hands. We know what time it was. We already knew who this devil was. There's a lot of your past will never teach you who this devil was. We gotta get our people with the truth. We gotta tell the people who the real devil is, who the real conniving people are. These people don't have no interest for you or me. You know, it's so sad that the judgment is so here that the earth is going to be heated up. The earth is so speeding up right now. We are going into a global change with our worlds. All behind these people, they want to continue. Let history repeat itself. They want to continue to buckle this on down and tighten things on down. Like the judgment ain't here, like they not being watched. See, when the wicked always think that they are mightier than God, when the wicked always think that they can thwart his plan and purpose until he comes, who right it is to rule. And this is why I said never no more. And I mean never no more will the earth be let out to these white non-owners. They have proved this today by their mistreatment of you and me. They show how evil they are. You see, when I say good, character you have. See, bad character we see corrupts good character. I say America almost have to do a marvelous thing. They have to do a marvelous thing to bring this back around. They're showing you how bold they are in the time that God is coming. And they don't have no answer today of what God is here to do, man. They don't have no answer of what's going to happen. See, this is why I tell you, Jesus said there will be earthquakes in, various places. You see the earthquakes that's happening. You see that new Madrid fault line is opening up. You see, earthquakes going to hit New Jersey, New York, Montreal, Mississippi, all those areas, and they ain't seen nothing yet. Just look at the cast says deduction zone. It's going to be due. The Pacific coast is going to be due with ways that y'all ain't never witnessed in this time. All these things is due, y'all. All these things is boiling, and it's going to boil to the last dread. All these things are heaping up, y'all, for the coming day. I say this to say this. These people don't have no sympathy with what they did to our people. So now I'm saying that y'all have to get on board and get on this boat now and get together for a spiritual feast. Now I say it's time for black, brown, red, and yellow people to stand. Because when I talk to you about this beast now, this Goliath, the giant of the earth of America, you see, whenever I tell you See, when the sword is within and the sword without, we see trouble seem to have no end. With tens of millions of black people crying for freedom, justice. You see. Now we got a God that's coming. But this is what we see is now in effect. It is the action we see of a divine justice for the poor, man, black slaves. See, Allah God and the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, has the power, and he's using his power on this wicked to bring them to their knees. Allah God is the greatest, and there is no equal to him. This is why Psalms chapter 2, verse 4 said he will sit in heaven, and he shall laugh. He'll have you in humiliation. He'll have you in confusion. See, Allah God, brothers and sisters, can take us by our own way of thinking and spin us as though we are playing toy. We cannot fight a successful fight against him. He's too powerful. Listen in on our thinking. He's capable of making us to think and to do that which he desired to be done. The great commotion we see today is witnessed by the nation of this earth. For it's America whom Allah guides after. For his mistreatment of the poor so-called law found original black members of their nations. America mistreat and kill her black slave for sport, but America's days is drawing to a close, and she will not have the freedom to mistreat the black slave much longer. As the mistreatment we see in Egypt against Israel, we see came to an end. So will this mistreatment of the black slave by white America comes to an end. Allah has the power to use it against America. And today, his power is being revealed. So, we know America has so blind and made us deaf dumb, the black man in America, a black one slave, that she will make empty promises to this black slave, and he will accept her false promise and forsake the true promise of Allah, God, and the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, who is here offering us heaven at once. The great commotion will continue in America until the commotion has destroyed the power of opposition.